I found it in a place I never would expect it. Drank too much, nearly lost my mind. Gonna come back one more time. Whiskey double, put 'em outlaw. Whiskey double, put 'em outlaw. Whiskey double.
All right, everybody. Hey, Brewsic, episode 2.
It's Brewsic, everybody.
Yeah, so if you're back with us, thank you to the same 3 people. That song was called Whiskey Double. And the theme of tonight's show pretty much is going to be songs that Mark and I wrote together, played together, sang together, created together, recorded together, blah, 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 all that stuff.
And what you just heard was amazing because I haven't heard that version because it must have been pre-production.
Yeah, it was definitely production values.
I don't know.
So I think the way it's labeled is like, version 5, and we probably, knowing the producer we used, probably had 30 versions or different takes. The best part of that song, I would like to point out, we recorded that as The Strangers. And the best part of that whole song is the instrumentation by somebody who wasn't even in the band. Was that piano solo? It was great.
Oh, not only that, the trumpets. My gosh.
Yeah, I mean everything that was good in that was not The Strangers.
Oh no, I wouldn't say that, but it was.
We had good drumming. We'll go with that.
That was towards the end.
That
of
was
the
the twilight.
Strangers.
Yeah, that was when we were on the cruise.
Yeah.
Control.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was a Strangers tune.
Yeah.
And tonight, this group of songs is going to be songs that, like I said, Mark and I played together, recorded together, wrote together, sang together.
I think we've done at least. I don't know.
We have definitely played over 150 songs together, written originals, which is weird because the next one that we're going to do is actually a cover. It's the only cover I included on this. But if you guys were around, the 2 people that are listening, if you were around for the first episode, you would know already that we were big fans of Ryan Adams and Whiskey Town. And this song is a cover of those guys, and it's called Choked Up. It was like a bonus track on an album, never really was released. We were such huge fans, we found it. We put our spin on it, and it goes like this.
I don't know why we don't talk. Every time we try, we get choked up. Running with the feelings and get caught in your head. Till I can't remember what it was we said. And though my friends say I'm in love, this is what I think they're thinking of. And I don't know why we can't win. Every time we lose, I just pretend. Running out of money at the end of the month. No, I cannot buy the things I want. And though my friends say I'm in love, this is what I think they're thinking of. Can count my friends on my left hand. I don't need another who wouldn't understand. I take myself with thoughts of leaving, running out of things left to believe in, running out of money and time, running out of money and time. You won't be mine. And I don't know why we can't win. Every time we lose, I just pretend. Running out of money at the end of the month. No, I cannot buy the things I want. And though my friends say I'm in love, this is what I think they're thinking of. Count my friends in my left hand. I don't need another who wouldn't understand. And I don't know why we don't talk. Every time we try, we get choked up. Running with the feelings and get caught in your head. Till I can't remember what it was we said. And oh, my
right, that was Choked Up by us, I guess.
I have no idea when that was recorded.
Yeah, that was
I don't remember
years and
doing
years
it.
ago. That was probably the only time I've ever recorded piano. I played it with one finger. I remember that.
Here?
No, not here.
Where?
No, it was. Geez, it was the house on 30th Street.
Oh, wow.
So that was That was right when he came back from Maryland,
Right.
and we recorded a few songs back then. And this was one of those ones. So, yeah, that's the cover on this set tonight. But the next one that we've got, I remember when I lived in the apartment by myself, I think it was. Maybe my sister was there. I used to have to go home to do laundry. It was free. And I was willing to drive 45 minutes to do laundry back then because I didn't have $8 for the laundromat. So I went
Gas
home.
wasn't $8?
No, it was
yeah.
$2.50 or something great
okay.
like that. So I went home to the parents' house, the parentals, and they weren't home. I did laundry during the day, and I was sitting there looking out they had the bay window in the living room. They still do. And it was in the fall. Harvest had happened, so they had an empty field. Corn stalks kind of broken over. Everything was gone. It was kind of a wet, dreary day. And I ended up writing the lyrics to this that day. I think it might be the third verse. I can't remember. Second or third verse. It talks about corn stalks crunching underfoot because that's what I was looking at out the window when I wrote the lyrics to this. So this one is called Nashville. It's kind of like what would happen if we just picked up and left type of song. Maybe we'd make it. Maybe we'd be famous. Maybe we wouldn't be recording these podcasts 15 years later.
Well, surprisingly enough, I do remember recording this.
Hey, there we go. That's a plus.
All right.
So, yeah, this one's called Nashville. Hope you like it.
Just a minute, I must have lost my bearings. Take some time, sure to pull through. Tell me, 'cause I know what you're thinking. What can one man in this world do? I pointed out the sun and moon, winds will be here soon. Laying by the fireside, take you as my blushing bride. But if that's what I'm gonna do, I'm thinking about you. I'm thinking about you. One more stop and we'll be close to Nashville. Everyone's got a secret they like to hide. Moving on into our distant future. It's been about 14 hours since I cried. I pointed out the sun and moon and
That was Nashville.
That was.
And it holds up from what I remember, I think. This is interesting because I think maybe 3 people have ever heard most of these songs that we're probably going to play tonight.
Where's the harmonica? I thought I played harmonica.
I don't remember that.
Well,
But,
anyway.
we could add it later, I guess. 10
Must have
years
been
later.
another song. But
Probably.
yeah.
So the next one we've got on tap next is called Raincoat. And the story behind this one was...
Condoms are good, kids.
Well, we were subversive. We were dirty back then. We were putting subliminal messages in our tunes. But I think the real story to this one was this was for somebody's assignment. And we had to write a song and record it. You remember that?
Holy fuck.
And it took all day. This
is that song.
Yeah, this is that song. It took us 8 hours to record it. There's 10 tracks. There's clapping. There's vocals. There's all sorts of stuff.
You know my memory. All these songs, I'm like, I have no idea except for the ones, like Hologram and Elephant. Remember Me.
Right.
This is out.
Yeah,
Okay,
we're going down memory lane tonight, and I have a little bit of an advantage because I've listened to these to put this together.
Right.
Mark hasn't probably heard most of these in years and years, probably.
No.
I have them on my iPod. I listen to it quite a bit. I'm a narcissist that way. So, anyway, this is Raincoat. We recorded it at your house, just off O Street, upstairs in that big-ass office room you had.
The multicolored.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Victorian, the old Victorian.
Yeah.
With the bats.
Bats everywhere. Yeah.
So,
all right.
Let's get to it, man. Let's play Raincoat. Cool people.
All right.
Talking over the radio, but no one wants to listen. Talking over the radio, can you see what you are missing? Until what you got goes away. It's like walking through a forest that you can't see for the trees. It's like asking for forgiveness when you're not down on your knees. Sometimes you have to know when to walk away. Hey, hey, Virginia, you think you were the only one. Hey, hey, Virginia, our love is just a setting sun. When you see the man in me, you'll stop and say, rather wear a raincoat than take a chance of getting wet. You're taking things for granted that you haven't seen yet. Memories and feelings just seem to fade away. Hey, Virginia, you think you were the only one. Hey, hey, Virginia, our love is just a setting sun. When you see the man in me, you'll stop and say, don't tell me the night is over the sun won't shine. Bring you back where you belong. Don't try to count all the stars. You will only lose your way. Don't think this will be forgotten, because I'm like an elephant, and there's nothing I can do to keep the love from leaving you, and there's nothing I can say to make the sunshine for you today. Don't say you wanna take it back, all the good times we had. Don't turn your back and walk away, 'cause then I would be all alone, and there's nothing I can do to keep the love from leaving you, and there's nothing I can say to make the sunshine for you today. And there's nothing I can do to keep the love from leaving you, and there's nothing I can say to make the sunshine for you today.
All right. So that was 2 in a row. That was Raincoat first. And then this last one we just played was Elephant. Both of those tracks featured our buddy Daryl playing bass, singing with us. I was kind of hoping to have him here today when we recorded this, but he's out camping.
Yeah.
He's kind of he's an adventurous guy. He likes cooking stuff on a fire and sleeping without his pants on out in the tent. I'm assuming it's hot outside.
Eating things that are out of date.
Yeah, he's adventurous. He's got an iron gut, pretty good chest hair collection,
Quite nice.
and a pretty nice vinyl collection too, if I remember right. So those are some good things about him. But those were tracks that we did with him. Those were after the Strangers were done playing, and this is when I was living in Omaha and coming down to write 4 or 5 songs a night with Mark. And those last 2 are some of those that we did. The next 3 that we're going to do, we'll kind of break it up a little bit, but the next 3 that we're going to do are Strangers tracks. So if you happen to have been in Havelock, I don't know, 10 years ago, maybe 10 years ago, somewhere around there, you might have heard maybe 1 or 2 of these. The first one that we're going to start with is Hologram Girlfriend.
And the story
for this one is twofold. One was like some crappy, like, Arnold Schwarzenegger movie or something.
Right.
Where he was like a clone of himself or a hologram.
Yeah, I remember us watching the commercial.
Yeah.
And I said, you had a hologram girlfriend. We should write a song about that.
We should write a song about that. And the next day, I was in criminal justice class in college in Nyhart Hall in the honors dorm or whatever over there on campus. And instead of paying attention to the lecture on 18th century prisons in Europe, I wrote the lyrics to this track and like sang it to the next class, which was English, I think. And I was like working out the rhythm, how I wanted it to sound. And I think I came home that day and I was like, "Oh, I wrote this song. We gotta do it," and we did. But it's inspired and based on a real crappy Schwarzenegger movie. I don't even remember what it was, man.
I have no idea.
It was definitely not a hit. It wasn't Terminator 2.
No.
And it wasn't Twins.
Last Action Hero.
Yeah, it wasn't that one. It wasn't Expendables. I don't know. Pick any other movie. It might have been that one. But so, yeah, this one's called Hologram Girlfriend. If you, were around us back in the day when we were younger, you might have heard this. Played at Bob's Tavern. So let's hear it, Mark.
Okay.
She's always there when I want her, and she never tells me no. She doesn't have an attitude, and she's always ready to go. She doesn't have any other friends. We've never had a fight, but if we had an argument, I'd be wrong and she'd be right. And I've got a hologram for a girlfriend. I've got a hologram girlfriend. I've got a hologram for a girlfriend. I've got a hologram girlfriend. She never has to have her way. I've never seen her pout. And if it's getting cold and late, she'll never kick me out. She doesn't have a jealous thought inside her pretty head. And if it's her that's in the mood, she'll drag me to the bed. And I've got a hologram for a girlfriend. I've got a hologram girlfriend. I've got a hologram for a girlfriend. I've got a hologram girlfriend. I've never met her mom and dad, and I know she'll never meet mine. And if I need to be cheered up, she's always got the time. And I've got a hologram for a girlfriend. I've got a hologram girlfriend. I've got a hologram for a girlfriend. I've got a hologram girlfriend. I think I'm falling in love with her. I know I don't wanna live without her. I'd like to see her every day. I've never been this happy before. Never felt this way before. What else do you want me to say? I've got a hologram for a girlfriend. I've got a hologram girlfriend. I've got a hologram for a girlfriend. I've got a hologram girlfriend. Man, we were so close to being the next Nirvana. Sounds like they're pretty muddy guitar. Like that. So that was Hologram Girlfriend. That was always a live staple of our shows. Shane Venhouse.
Yeah.
Man, he would play that drum roll, that fill, just
Yeah.
like going crazy. And if he had a shirt on at that point in time, it was a bad show. If the shirt was off, everybody was into it. That was the indicator.
I always watched him.
Yeah.
The way his drum rolls would go when to come back in, because you never knew.
Yeah.
He could go double. He could go triple. You never knew.
It was like surfing. You just held on, man. Held
But
on that wave.
now he's playing with a great band now, huh?
Yeah, Cornerstone, man. Cornerstone Dub.
Very good band.
They're fun, man. They always have a great show.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was Hologram Girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
The next one,
is Road Less Traveled.
Oh, I have a story about this one.
Let's hear it, man.
Well, Daryl and I were on our way to Cessna in Wichita, and we were driving on the way there, and I said, man, we should write a song called The Road Less Traveled, because we're in the middle of Nebraska, and there's nobody around us. So I was like, that just seems like a good name for a song.
That's a good title, yeah.
But, yeah, there were sunflowers everywhere, so...
The album title, right, that we did, that EP?
Yeah, right.
That's what I thought. Was this a Dave Busty production?
It was.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we started out with Dave.
Yeah.
I think we flew him in. It feels like we flew him into Nebraska to record these tracks.
I think he flew himself in with his magic wings.
I like to tell the story that we paid for him to come, but whatever. He was a taskmaster and he whipped us into shape. Yeah. Recorded all these things like 18 times.
He said again a lot.
He wasn't real happy with what we were doing, but he made it. He polished a turd. Let's just say that.
Well, he tried to.
Yeah. So we got Road Less Traveled. This has Daryl singing on this one prominently, if I remember correct.
Correct.
And it goes like this. Hope you enjoy it. Road Less Traveled by the Strangers back in the day.
Yeah.
Oh, I would remember when we made that and we sold like, I don't know, 250 or 300 copies and we had to order more. Like that was the best day of my life.
It was amazing. Yeah.
I think they were like $5 a piece or something.
Yeah.
So the first batch paid for the recording and then the second batch of them probably paid for our tab. maybe at Bob's or something.
Coasters for about 10 years.
Yeah,
but
I had a few extras, but you can't judge the market. It fluctuates like stocks. So the final one that we're going to do out of the Strangers grouping is a different version. You probably haven't heard this probably since we recorded it, but it's Remember Me. This, if you were in Lincoln or Crete, Seward, wherever we played, some other small towns.
Seward, yeah.
Yeah. You might have heard it. Faster, peppier, people singing and dancing. I definitely remember singing this and people singing it back to me. And I remember singing this distinctly at Bob's one time thinking, this is the best feeling ever. People are singing words back to me that I wrote, and I think it was so fantastic.
Yeah, I remember seeing people on tables, and I was like, wow, that's amazing. People on tables.
We did it. We made it. That's what we set out to do, get people on, girls on tables, and we did it.
Yeah.
So this is Remember Me, and it was probably my favorite song of ours to play at Stranger's Time, but this is a different version. It's... I guess I felt like we should indulge ourselves tonight. So this is like a deep cut, unplugged, never released version of this track.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, you haven't heard it probably since we recorded it. So it goes something like this. Talking when I should have been listening. I was singing when I should have been whistling, but I'd never change how I feel about you. I know you'd never want me to, so come on, baby, please remember. Please remember me. And I was taken when I should have been given. I was dying when I should have been living. And I know we can't see eye to eye, even though I wanna try. So come on, take some time, remember me. Come on, take some time, remember me. And I was leaving when I should have been staying. I was sinning when I should have been praying. And I've been at times both down and out, and I know what it's all about. So come on, don't forget, remember me. So come on, don't forget, remember me. So that was Remember Me, acoustic, non-album version. Any thoughts on that one, Mark?
Yeah. That's. I remember exactly the time that was recorded in my bedroom with the head that we bought from playing at a bowling alley with the strangers.
That's right.
And that's. I mean, that was a lot of fun, man. That's the raw. That's a good one. So.
That's right. So let's see, the next two I think that we've got on the list. I put these in here kind of as a surprise to you because these are tracks that you recorded pretty much on your own and sang them, played them, did all that stuff on your own.
Really?
Yeah. So what we're going to do here is we're going to refuel on a couple of oat sodas. We're going to take a breather, and we're going to hit pause for just a second.
Oh, pause for the cause? Like,
yeah, exactly.
Remember? Who was that? Dangerous Dan used to say that.
I think he did.
At the zoo bar.
At the zoo bar.
Pause for the cause, yeah.
Well, we're going to do that tonight. It's his honor. And
well, he's still alive.
Well, we could still say that, can't we? I don't know where he went. Is he still wearing those Chuck Taylor Converse shoes or whatever?
I don't know. It just used to crack me up whenever you say that. Okay.
Yeah, pause for the cause. So we're going to do that. We're going to grab a beer, and we'll be right back.
Yeah.
Skeletons here in this town. Oh, bones been running way around. Just can't drive fast enough to break them down. Go ahead, drink your whiskey, I'll sip my wine.
So that was Skeletons. First things first, Mark. It's called Brewsic for a reason. And it's because we're going to talk about music and we're going to talk about beer.
Right.
So right now I am, and again, I have to preface this, we are definitely not sponsored by any of these breweries that we are enjoying tonight. But I am currently drinking a Boulevard Pop-Up Session IPA. It's less than 5% alcohol, which is good because I would like to do a couple more of these this evening. And if I'm drinking 13 percenters, it's not going to happen. So under 5, pop-up session IPA. My favorite session IPA, probably. Sometimes with the session IPA, you get a kind of onion taste, and that's not good.
I like onions.
I do too, but not in my beer bottle.
Well, whatever.
Beggars can't be choosers. So what do you got going on over there?
It looks like a Oktoberfest, Langen Cools.
Good and malty.
Nice.
I know somebody. Well, you know him too, James. He's a fan of the Oktoberfest beers, and that's one of his favorite ones. He always tries to get a 6-pack, 12-pack, case, keg, whatever he can get his hands on of that particular brew. He likes that one a lot.
Well, anything that James will drink, I will take at least a sip of.
I would agree. Yeah. I would agree. And it was $5.99 a 6-pack. Let's throw that out there.
All right.
I'm thrifty tonight. We wanted quality and quantity, and we got it.
Well, I'll cheers to that.
So, Skeletons was the track we just heard.
Yeah.
I remember a line or two in there, something about drinking, but that was most of the songs we wrote. You got any insight for us on this, since you did this one pretty much on your own?
This is very strange for me because I thought that I'd never finish a song, and that sounds like it's nearly finished.
It sounds great.
Yeah, I mean,
love that guitar.
I have no idea how many years ago that was.
It was a few, probably 8 or 9 at least.
Yeah, and well, you know, I think I'm gonna pick up the guitar again and start playing around. So.
I like to hear that. All right, cool. Well, we'll have Skeletons Part 2 for you in about 9 years.
All right.
We're gonna play another one of yours next,
wow.
So we'll play it and then we'll talk about it after it's done. So this one's called "My Dear Child." I think I had 4 or 5 different versions of this to choose from, and I picked this one because I liked it the best.
Do we have a DeLorean around here?
Well, we might have to make a time machine for sure tonight.
Yeah.
We're going to do it anyway. So we're going to play it. It's "My Dear Child," and we'll touch base with you here in a few minutes.
My dear child, don't you cry. I'll tell you, everything's gonna be alright. Lay your head down to rest. Hopefully tomorrow will change the rest. Angels fall over you. You might see them if you wanted to. I miss my childhood. I'm sure you miss yours too. My dear child, don't you cry. I'll tell you everything will be alright. Lay your head down to rest. Hopefully tomorrow will change the rest. Angels fall over you. You might see them if you wanted to.
My Dear Child. That's Mark. I got to tell you why I like that one. And there's a couple of reasons, I suppose. But one is that guitar lick is great. The echoey part of that sounds fantastic. It's amazing what you can get with like a $10 microphone. We used to play the crap out of that thing. Recorded a lot of songs with that.
Really was like one of those skinny pencil microphones from a Microsoft computer.
It was like if you took that and you times it to Bob Barker's microphone from Price is Right.
In between there, yeah.
And it was white, pretty ivory colored. The other thing I like about that song, I guess, is the part about basically if you want to see angels, just look around. Like if you want to see the good in life, you can if you want to. If you want to see bad stuff, then you can see that too. That's what resonates with me. Anything you want to add on that before we move on?
Yeah, that's about. I mean, that's it. I mean, it was a hard time when it was written, but yeah, that's pretty much it. It's like enjoying your childhood to the point where don't forget about your childhood. Just remember, what's fun, and then, bring that forward.
I gotcha. I think. Well, I know. I don't think. I know we've done that pretty well. We've had our share of fun, man. We have not been cheated in that category.
Yeah.
So the next one that we're going to do is one that you and I did together again at the house off O Street. It's called Promised Land, and we'll listen to it here and refresh our memories, and we'll talk it up after this. So again, Promised Land.
Guess I'm counting on you, Jesus. Won't you help me make an honest stand? Go ahead and let me down, sweet Jesus, in my search for the promised land.
Promised Land. One of the things I like about writing songs, I guess, is the power of the word I. and I would express it as sometimes when you write a song and you put I into it, people automatically assume it's about you. Biographical in nature, and that's usually not the case, especially for me. So when I write songs, a lot of the time, I haven't done it for a while. Well, kind of, I guess. But when we used to write a lot of songs, they were almost always like breakup ballads and like girl done me wrong songs, that sort of thing. And that's never happened to me pretty much in my whole life. At least not since I was like 17 years old, right? I've been with my wife for 18 years. I can't really complain. I definitely don't have enough to write a song about it. So I have to like reach out of myself to write things like this. And those are the kind of songs I'm always attracted to anyway.
So you're looking at me and saying, man,
Right.
that, yeah.
I'm looking at Mark's life and writing songs about it. So that one I kind of wrote as a perspective of like somebody that's up against a wall and like his whole life is this girl and he doesn't have her anymore, and he's pleading to some higher being, like if this doesn't work, then I have nothing left for me. So that was the scope of that tune, and it's kind of a bummer.
That sounds really sad.
I know.
Yeah.
And the next one is sad, but good sad kind of. This also has never happened to me, but it's my favorite. It's definitely my favorite song that we ever wrote, not as the Strangers, and it's called "Man I Am," and it's basically about a guy who is mad at himself for always falling into the trap of like the booty call. So like this girl's always after him, right? She's calling, it's late at night. He's mad at himself because he says, "Yeah, all right, I'll be there," or "Yeah, come on over." And then they do the deed, and then she goes home, and he's like, he wants more. He wants a relationship, and she's not into that.
Oh my
So
gosh, you're in a fantasy land,
Right, that's
buddy.
fictional, right?
Yeah.
Because I don't know any guys that would
No.
say this, but so this song is called "Man I Am." It's definitely my favorite one that we've done, and it is again about a guy that is mad at himself for falling into the one night stand trap. So thanks for tuning in, Brewsic, episode 2. Brian and Mark, we're gonna try to get one more done tonight. We've still got a bunch of beer to go, so that part of the deal is good, and we'll play it next.
So when you call me up late on Friday night, I believe the lies. I thought I'd be alright, but I guess I fell back in that same old rut. And when you say goodbye, it has deep in my gut. You got me stuck on you just like a leash, but I was trying to stay out of reach. You got me questioning, man, I am. Don't wanna be a fool again. You told me many times tonight would be the last, but then the day will come when you forget the past. And like an honest man, I cannot hold a grudge. I'll lay my complaints out, but you are the judge. You got me stuck